And that's how I won her heart, he said, smiling. He leaned back in his chair, lifting his hands behind his head, expanding his chest. He was always so smug. He looked at me, and then at the idiot sitting beside me, and then turned back again to me. He was waiting for us to respond. He wanted to see the smiles stretch across our faces, to feel our admiration, our awe. I hated him. I hated him in an all-encompassing, burning, biblical way. I hated that he repeated this story every time I came to dinner, every Friday evening. It didn't matter who I brought with me. It didn't matter which degenerate I was dating at the time. He always told them this story. Because this story, you see, was his ultimate trophy. For a man like Charles, successful, wealthy, charming, a beautiful, bright, sparkling woman like Marnie was the final medal in his collection. And because he was fueled by the respect and admiration of others, and perhaps because he received neither from me, he wrenched them instead from his other guests. What I wanted to say in response, and what I never said, was that Marnie's heart was never his to win. A heart, if we're being honest, which I finally am, can never be won. It can only be given, only received. You cannot persuade, entice, change, still, steal, steal, take a heart. And you certainly cannot win a heart. "Cream?" Marnie asked. She was standing beside the dining table, holding a white ceramic jug. Her hair was pinned neatly at the top of her neck, loose curls around her cheeks, and her necklace was twisted, the clasp beside the pendant, hanging together against her breastbone. I shook my head. "No thanks," I said. "Not you," she replied, and she smiled. "I know not you." I want to tell you something now, before we begin. Marnie Gregory is the most impressive, inspiring, astonishing woman I know. She has been my best friend for more than 18 years. Our relationship is legally an adult, able to drink, marry, gamble, ever since we met at secondary school. It was our first day, and we were queuing in a long, thin corridor, a line of 11-year-olds worming their way toward a table at the other end of the hall. There were groups huddled at intervals, like mice in a snake, bulging from the orderly single-file line. I was anxious, aware that I knew no one, psychologically preparing myself for being alone and lonely for the best part of a decade. I stared at those groups and tried to convince myself that I didn't want to be part of one anyway. I stepped forward too fast, too far, and stood on the heel of the girl in front. She spun around. I panicked. I was sure that I was about to be humiliated, shouted at, belittled in front of my peers. But that fear dissipated the moment I saw her. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but Marnie Gregory is like the sun. I thought it then. I often think it now. Her skin is shockingly fair, a porcelain cream tempered only occasionally, after exercise, for example, or when she is overwhelmingly content, by rosy pink cheeks. Her hair is a deep auburn, twisted into spirals of red and gold, and her eyes are a pale, near-white blue. "Sorry," I said, stepping back and looking down at my shiny new shoes. "My name's Marnie," she said. "What's yours?" That first encounter is symbolic of our entire relationship. Marnie has an openness, a tone that invites warmth and love. She is unassumingly confident, unafraid and unaware of any presumptions you might bring to the conversation. Whereas I am intensely aware. I am afraid of any potential animosity, and am always waiting for what I know will come eventually. I am always waiting to be ridiculed, Then I feared judgment for the pimples across my forehead, my mousy hair, my too big uniform. Now, the tone of my voice, the way it shakes, my clothing, comfortable and rarely flattering, my hair, my trainers, my chewed fingernails. She is light, where I am dark. I knew it then. Now you'll know it too.